Morning. How you doing? Morning.
Oh dear.
Steve, a bit of a blow this week with the news of Matt Ritchie's.
Yeah, we're all disappointed. There's nothing worse for a player than when you've had an operation like he had, and then the surgeon decides that he needs to do a little bit more. So, look, we're devastated, and so is he. We did give him a period of rest. He went to see the specialist again and had the operation again the next morning. So, unfortunately, that's where it is. We hope this time that he's back in training in early January. It's nothing too horrific, so to say. Let's hope this time it's done the trick.
Can you just clear up exactly what the?
It was a tiny piece of fragment or a piece of bone, or had obviously came away from with the impact, and they've gone into the tendon to remove it. So listen, I'm not technically wise. I'm not clued up in all what the technicalities of it. We thought that he'd done it the last time, and obviously the surgeon has decided to do a little bit more, and we hope that does the trick.
And how is Matt? Because I guess the character.
It's like any player. The worst thing you can have is an injury, and then you get your head round, right, I need to get fit, and how do I really get fit? The really frustrating thing for Matty is he was so close. He joined in for 2-3 days, and then all of a sudden felt something in the back of his ankle and couldn't shake that off. So it's a big frustration for all of us.
You thought it was a bad one at the time, and you improved, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, it happens in football, unfortunately. I said at the time it was a bad challenge, but it's worse when the player's out for now till the end of January, by the look of it. And let's hope this time that Matty makes a speedy recovery. He's never really had an injury, so he's not know how sure he's having to deal with it. But the strength of character he is, he'll be fine.
So out with Richie and Lascelles, are you looking okay?
Richie Lascelles, we've got a problem with Yedlin. He's hurt his hip. Apart from that, everybody else is okay.
Good that to get Sean Longstaff back in. You've missed him the last few games.
Yeah. I mean, he's had to wait. He's had to wait a bit like Isaac before that. He's had to wait a long time for his suspension. 3 games has spanned over something like 6 weeks. So it'd be good to see him back here.
Out with team news, I guess the big question is, do you make the change? You've persisted with the front 3 so far. Does there come a time where you think it might be worth taking one of them out to 5?
Well, look, last week against Bournemouth, I thought the front 3 were excellent. I thought against West Ham, the movement and the pace of them, absolutely on the day could have been 5 up. Now the question is always going to be, how long do you wait because they haven't scored a goal? What do they complement the team up until last week in particular against Aston Villa, where we weren't good enough across the board? I've been delighted with the front 3. Yes, I would love them to score a goal, but the threat that they've caused at the top end of the pitch and what they contribute towards the team is the thing I look at. Now, we all want them, of course, to score a goal, and we all think when we do score, or when they do score, then we'll be fine. So it's that getting that balance right and what we've got. And as I said, the previous game before Aston Villa against Bournemouth and against West Ham, they were terrific. So I'll keep persevering with them.
I suppose it's becoming a mental thing. We saw Almiron, for example.
Yeah. The last two internationals, Almiron's been away and scored. So, but of course, the longer it goes on, the more it plays with any striker. And they're all judged, no matter what they do, they're all judged on goals and assists. And of course, unfortunately, the confidence drains a little bit away, and that's what a striker needs. They need to be confident, and how you get confident is by one thing as a striker, is probably scoring a goal. So let's hope. It's going to be difficult who we're playing against tomorrow, but let's hope one of them can make it a good afternoon for us.
What you've done so far this season is you've reacted well to defeat and good performances. Do you think you've got that again in you tomorrow?
Well, I hope so. I mean, that's always, we've been going along very nicely for a good few weeks, and we're disappointed the way we played the other night. But then again, you're always disappointed when you get beat. And of course, the Premier League is unforgiving. There's some good teams in it. Everybody's got good players, and it is how you respond and how you take the defeat.
How do you see Man City at home? Is it a free hit for you, or is it a match you can go and get at them? Because
we're at home. We're at home, and we've done okay against Chelsea and Liverpool, and we've beat Man U, and we've beat Spurs away. So, look, the one thing we're going to have to be absolutely at our best and our maximum, and hope that Man City have a rare off day. They don't have many. Let's be perfectly honest. They're an unbelievably good football team, as good as you get probably. So we're going to have to play at our best, have a game plan that works against them, defend well, and give it our best shot. That's what you have to do.
Have you faced Pep before?
Don't think so.
Be a new challenge for you.
Absolutely, yeah, wonderful.
What do you make of his Man City team this season, maybe compared to the last couple of years?
I think over the last decade of where they've come from and where they are today, and when you see the chairman talking in the week of the new investment and buying another team in India, I think it's quite remarkable of what they've done in such a short period of time. What have they won now? 4 Premier Leagues and the FA Cup 3 times, all in the space of 10 years. It's quite remarkable. So, and transformed one half of the city in Manchester. So you have to take your hat off to them and just applaud them. And of course now they've got arguably the greatest coach in the world. They've got as good a team as anyone in the world, that's for sure. So you can only applaud them and where they've come from and the huge rise of where they've got to today.
Steve.
Thank you.
Steve, just on the confidence with the front three, what as a manager can you do to help that? Or is there
just keep reassuring them. They're going to have to keep working hard at it, and like anything, you have to believe that they're good players in their own right, and it's a frustration for all of us, but you have to keep reassuring them. We were hoping that Almiron, for example, going away playing for his country, getting the winner, winning 1-0, would give him that lift. The number of times where the goalkeeper's pulled off a wonderful save the other night from Heaton, the one the week before Bournemouth where he hits him on the line, it's just unfortunately ongoing. All you can do is keep trying to reassure them, do the right thing, keep working hard, and hopefully it'll turn around.
And on Manchester City, what have you made of this title race so far? It looks like it's going to be so exciting again throughout the season.
Well, I mean, look, they're 2 wonderfully gifted sides who looks as if they're going to go head to head. It looks as if they're going to be the ones again, doesn't it? So, I can only speak on who we're playing tomorrow. Man City, they're a wonderful, wonderful football team, and threats come from all over the pitch. You look at De Bruyne and Jesus and this one and that one, and it's just a gathering of really, really top players. Go with that. The manager who's as good as anything you're going to see, then you're up against it. So these are the challenges which are the Premier League. Can we go and perform? Can we go and play to our maximum, and then see what we can do?
And you've got huge experience in the game, but for you as a manager, what will it be like coming up against Guardiola? Yeah,
for the first time. Yeah. Well, you always look forward to it. You always look forward to playing against the big teams. That's what we're all in football for. We'd rather be playing against Manchester City tomorrow than anybody else. So it's a big game, huge game. Let's perform to the maximum, see what we can do.
And in terms of the Manchester City defeat against Newcastle last season, which we've mentioned, have you looked at that at all with the squad, or are you focusing more on?
No, I haven't looked on it. I can remember it. I haven't looked on it. But look, what's gone in the past is a long time ago. We're practically a different team, So now we'll just focus on what we can do, and hopefully we can repeat the result. That would be nice.
And no Aguero, obviously, for them out.
Yeah, but they've got Brazil they've got Brazil centre forward instead. Look, they've got that unbelievable balance and depth in their squad. They're all top players. And I think they've proved that over the years. They've got a mentality as well, which is there for everybody to see. As I said, in the decade which they've been going, it's quite remarkable that of where they've come to so quickly and what they've done. You can only applaud them, but he can still get stuck in against them tomorrow and hopefully cause an upset.
Thanks.
Steve, you talked about persevering, perhaps with that front three. How are Andy Carroll and Dwight Gale? You know, we've seen them come on later in the games, and I guess they're kind of itching to be a part of it as well. How is it?
For me, it's all about the team. And up last week against Bournemouth, and the week before, especially against West Ham, then the front three have played very, very well and contributed to us winning the game. Now, because they didn't score, then of course the questions are going to be asked, and how long do I persevere with, and how long does somebody else wait? The thing is, with Dwight, he's only been fit in the past 4 weeks or whatever, so, but you know they've got to be a bit patient, and when he gets his chance, which he will do, then you hope he takes it. So, but I've been very, very pleased with the contribution that the front three have made to the team. Alan's only played 5-6 games, for example. You know, he's missed a big chunk of the season. And as I said, for me, it's the team and the balance and what they give us. And I know that they're a threat to any team when they're playing well, like they did a week ago. We're all disappointed the way we played against Aston Villa. We didn't play well enough. Now, that's not just the front three, that's the whole team. And the most important thing for me is always the team. So we'll keep persevering with them. I am sure they'll turn it around. We've got to be patient, and that's always difficult these days.
Just a word about Matt Ritchie. You know, when he plays, we can hear how vocal he is on the pitch when, you know, we're sat in the press box. While he is undergoing his rehab, does he still have an influence on the team as one of the senior players?
Well, you can never. Up until a week ago, he was still bouncing around the training ground. That's his personality. That's what he is. That's what we've missed. He's a great pro who's never really had an injury either. So the news for all of us was awful last week. We all thought he was close 2 weeks ago, and that's the frustration that he came off the pitch, joined in training for 2-3 days, and unfortunately something was niggling at him and wasn't comfortable with it. So look, he's had another minor operation. I have to say these operations are minor, they're nothing too drastic. Let's hope it's done the trick this time when we see him in January, because somebody like him is always good to have around.
And just finally, as we are just about in December, are plans picking up pace for January in the transfer window?
Well, it's always something that we look at, but I've been delighted with the squad. I still haven't seen the squad of players in total yet. So as I keep mentioning, January is always a difficult month. If there's somebody out there that can improve us in January, then we'll have a look at it. But as I said, that's always difficult.
Thank you.
Nisha, as Nisha said there, it's about the January window. It's Black Friday as well, so today when people people talk about shopping.
I'm going to pick one up on the high street, am I?
Obviously, you're not allowed to do that, but now we're sort of a third of the way through the season. Have you got an idea of what, if you could, you'd like to do?
Yeah, I mean, but I've been in it long enough to know that sometimes you have to be a bit patient, and if you can't get better than what you've got that can add to the squad and be better, then you can't just bring them in for the sake of it. And as I keep saying, in January, in my experience, it's very, very difficult because people don't want to sell their best players. People don't want to make change in January, especially if a team's doing okay or doing well, or if you're at the other end of the table where you're fighting against a relegation. You don't want to be losing your best players. So it's a difficult month, as I keep saying. If there's something out there that can improve us and we can do something, then we will.
Man City were beaten at St James's Park last season. You explained, obviously the team's different, but it shows it can be done.
Well, very quietly, we've done okay at Liverpool, we did okay at Chelsea, we beat Man U and we've beat Tottenham, so we are capable. That's the Premier League. The one thing we're going to have to be at our best. We're going to have to play to our maximum and hope that that's good enough. And as I said, if we can get to the heights of when we are playing well, then we've got a chance.
And just finally, you look at the points total City have got the last couple of seasons, what Liverpool got last season, that sort of thing. Is it getting to a stage now where any game against these teams, home and away, anything you get out of it?
Anything, of course, is a bonus, because let's be fair, they don't get beat very often, and they don't drop many points. That's why they're at the top end of the league. For the past 18 months, the two of them have been going head to head. Look, the Liverpool and Man City in particular are the best teams in our country at the moment, and they're very, very difficult to take something off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks, Steve.